You're live. Okay. 2 months they have been down under. Australia and New Zealand, this Indian cricket team, finally they're coming back.
He's still stuck on that same.
Yeah.
Huh?
But the series has gone 2 months.
You lost the series and you lost the T20 World Cup, and you're more worried about players being out of India.
Our boys are coming back.
In a different time zone.
I know. Different time zone too. Hey, yes, but.
Why are people complaining on the timeline?
Okay.
We are basically
But
55
for
minutes
our,
early.
yeah, we are 55 minutes early today. Not late. I mean, some guy said insert dugout timeout.
Imagine if we are late, then what about the gentleman who was
supposed to be sitting here?
supposed to be sitting here, and he then is super late.
But we are early. Instead of 6:15, we are doing it 5:20 today.
Yeah, actually, I was wondering. In fact, today in the morning, I was just thinking, the players. So the series gets over today. Today is
30th.
30th. So hopefully they'll fly out tomorrow.
Yes.
Right, and then the first match in Bangladesh begins on 4th.
Isn't Bangladesh in New Zealand right now?
No, that is the women's team.
Ah, okay.
So India A.
Watching some promo running.
Yeah, that's the women's team.
Okay.
New Zealand women versus
So I
Bangladesh.
was wondering, will it be easy for this lot to actually acclimatize to not just the weather? Of course, weather I believe will not be an issue, but the time zone, to adjust to that time zone suddenly, because
How long did you take to adjust to the time zone when you came from New Zealand?
no, I know a few people who are still not
Adjusted to the time zone.
Yeah, they're still hungover with that Australian time zone. Because 9:30 he's yawning in front of the camera, and by 11:30 he's off. So actually, I was wondering, because I think this thought came to me last night when I was actually feeling sleepy pretty early in the
That how will the Indian players adjust to the Bangladesh time?
Yeah.
That thought.
Yeah, some of these players.
Yep.
It for us to say this is very easy, but it may not be that easy for the players, by the way.
Right.
Of course.
Because if they are flying out tomorrow, for example, so I think they'll reach tomorrow only.
Yeah.
If they fly out on first, they'll reach on first only. Could be late also.
Finally, he's here.
So
What is this, yeah, Siddharth?
A new dugout feel.
Why?
Our boss's idea.
sure.
Yeah.
Shivam. Shivam, what happened to your baby 11?
It's ready. It's ready.
No, you must ready the team, yeah. You never know. We may have to make drastic changes in the setup, yeah. You'll have to look at the performances of the players, no?
Yeah.
Some of them may be over the hill.
It'll all fall down. Please. Please don't be destructive. Poor guy has set it up with so much love and care. You're trying to take the bales off or whatever. It
So what is the mudda today?
Mudda is that Siddharth is still stuck and feeling bad for players having travelled from Australia to New Zealand, now to Bangladesh, for different time zones. He's like, poor guys.
They're lucky that they're playing for India, yeah.
Yes. But turnaround time, 3 days later you are in
It's
Bangladesh.
okay, yeah. It's okay.
How many days it took you to get used to time zone, Australia to India?
I came back with you. Next day we were having dinner, and the very next day I was in the office.
No,
that is
coming
one
to
thing.
office is one thing. Getting used to the time zone.
I'll tell you
Not
why.
being able to-
No, I was clever enough.
Ha.
So right throughout the Australia tour, because you were my company and we had Himanshu and PK Baba, so we used to sleep around 2:33,
Okay.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So which means that we were sleeping
At 11.
according to the Indian time zone.
Indian time, yes.
And barring Himanshu perhaps, and to an extent me, the others were also getting up according to the India time zones.
Come on, everyone used to wake up within 10-15 minutes. Of
Yeah, so somebody would wake up at 9:30. I mean, Himanshu would wake up at 8:30. Somebody at 10. Somebody at 10:30.
10 though no chance. You have to be out of the house someday.
Yeah.
Had to be within. Everyone woke up within. It's not possible that one wakes up, the other will not, because
But the other
it'll be
day-
like phone and then chai and this. And then everyone had to
And
like
coffee.
Coffee.
But the other day you were telling me that you doze off by 11:30 these days.
Yes, I do.
11:30.
Yeah.
Is
Ever
it-
since I've come back.
Yeah.
So you've
Isn't
not
that-
been able to get used to.
otherwise
No,
usually
it's a good habit.
No, it's not.
No, I'll tell you. No, the reason.
didn't
No.
have this
Arey nahi
good
yaar.
habit when you
Oh,
left.
yaar. The prism is this much. Think wider. The canvas has got to be this big. It is because once we came back from Australia, where was the next cricket series happening?
New Zealand.
Time zone
2.5 hours ahead
and
of Australia.
and matches would finish by
3-4 o'clock
in the afternoon.
Depends.
And our work would get over by 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock,
We'd be home by
11 o'clock,
10:30, 11.
10:30, 11. Huh?
So
But then why did you have to?
rather than
Then why did you have to get up early?
why did I have to get up early?
Yeah.
Oh, I am not a Kumbhkaran who sleeps for 12 hours, yeah.
No, you said.
See, you're a young man. You must know.
I am no longer a young
no,
man.
as you grow older, and you must understand this. As you grow older, you need less sleep. You would need to sleep for less time. Automatically, you'll have to wake up. It's not. You are a royal army,
No.
young man,
See, for every,
sleeping for 9 hours a
I
day.
think for every human being, 7 to 8, it is
9,
advisable, 7 to
9.
8 hours you have to sleep, irrespective whether you are
For
young.
every human being, the AQI is supposed to be less than 50.
Yeah.
In Delhi, it is 500. So we do not live in an ideal world.
I know.
A BMW car is made ideally for roads which are carpeted.
Motorways
Yes.
in Europe.
So we do not live in an ideal world.
No, but
And also, I think waking up early doesn't mean at 5 o'clock. You know, I would wake up at 7, 7:30, 7:45, which is good. And I come to office early with you.
early.
Today I was late by about 15 minutes, and
I think half
thanks
an
to you. No, I had said 9 o'clock.
I had said 9 o'clock, but I came 9:30.
I came 9:30, and that was no, because the match started 20 minutes late. So I had that buffer.
And also
so
we
I
didn't-
knew that rather
we
than
didn't
reaching at
trust the-
10:30,
we didn't trust the
I
Indian
trusted
batsman.
him. I trusted him. For the first time ever, I said, Rahul, please check the Google map.
First time
So
ever.
the route that we take was showing some 10 minutes extra. He said, no, let us go by Faridabad. It took us 2 hours.
Party wala.
2 hours.
Shivam?
घर की बातें बाद में कर लेना यार. Let us.
See there.
It's a serious.
Yes.
So our topic today, all of you.
My
can weigh-
question to you, all three of you.
No, but you have to answer the question that is our subject.
No. Is this a crisis-like situation for Indian cricket? Yes or no? Then I'll come to the.
Yes.
Why? Explain.
No, wait, yeah.
Let me mix. Not crisis. It's not a bed
No.
of roses, but not crisis.
No.
So you're happy being where you are.
No.
It is designed this way that you had to be here
Huh.
on this day.
So you're going according to the
Achha.
milestones.
You are going according to the design.
Design as in like.
The recipe for
Kudrat ka-
disaster or
Kudrat ka-
road to success?
Yeah.
No, is
Kudrat
this the road to success?
No.
No.
Is this
But
crisis-like
you were not
situation?
destined to succeed.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Don't be.
What do you mean you're not destined to
You were
succeed?
not destined
That's
to
a loaded
succeed.
statement.
No. So destined, you were perhaps you were destined to doom.
This is-
नहीं तो doom.
He is being very cynical.
No, I am saying this is by design that you are here. If you've lost, see, you took it, you took the preparations, you took the World Cup very lightly, you took the preparations for the World Cup very lightly. This series, you said, no, we'll give some youngsters a few more chances. Then you said, next series, we'll give a few players a few more chances. So this is by design that you've been doing this for a number of years. So you are still at the same spot where you were 4 years ago, just before the 2019 World Cup. I hope, I don't know if you have time, if you do have time left
You
to
don't
get
have
things
time. You don't have
or
time.
your house in
You
order.
have 11 months.
Remove 3 months out of that.
Why?
IPL.
Oh, but IPL is also preparation.
No. It
What do you
isn't.
mean no?
In an ideal
And you
world.
select people on the basis of IPL. Why is
Yes.
it not a
Exactly. How can
Where is the success rate?
You're saying as if IPL is not cricket.
Success
IPL
rate?
is some
I,
football.
Have we won the
Jasprit
T-
Bumrah is your prime
Fine.
example.
But we've not won the
Hardik
T-
Pandya also.
Ashwin went, Dinesh Karthik went. They're all examples.
Ashwin.
Yeah, Ashwin is your
IPL success.
yeah.
Hardik Pandya, your
Ashwin,
captain.
Hardik, yes, but
Mazi. They're
Ravindra
talking about
Jadeja.
Mazi. No, so but then, yeah, again, come on. You can't go into
But
Mazi
again,
now.
DK, dekho, see what did he do in this World Cup? Based on just IPL performance.
Irrespective whether you do well or not, IPL is considered to be your breeding ground for
Abdul Rahman, shameless Vikrant, why can't you speak on Pant now? No, yaar, Abdul Rahman ji, I'll have some shame. I will speak on him. But allow these three gentlemen some
अब तो
time.
पंत ने भी बोल दिया है अब तो आप बोल ही सकते हो
Yes, angry punch.
What did you, Rahul, first you tell me, what did you make of the Rishabh Pant interview? What was he trying to convey?
I don't think he should have said what he said and the way he said.
I think the question was
It was wrong.
legitimate.
What was
the
wrong?
answer was also legitimate, to be very honest.
I was just
I
saying,
don't
what
think
did-
there was
what
anything
did-
wrong.
what did he
Just
say
because
which
he's
was
not getting runs these days.
No, he didn't say that. By the way, I'll tell you what
I think
thought.
you've shown your mental vulnerability.
No. I'll tell you why it's right. I'll tell you why. No. He said that he was asked that you are much like Virender Sehwag.
Yeah, which is-
which is a compliment.
Yeah.
Which many thought that this kind of game will succeed in white ball cricket, but you've been a bigger success in test ball,
Yes.
right? Now to which he replied, I don't know whether he mistook that. To which he replied, saying it's not right to compare formats now. I don't think he meant compare with Virender Sehwag. He meant it's not right to compare formats right now. What you need to compare is that I am just 24, 25 years of age. So when I reach 32, then decide whether I was a great white ball player, or a good white ball player or not, or did I underachieve in white ball and did very well in test cricket. He says all of that should be decided at age 32, 33 and not so much now. So what is it that he said was wrong? Maybe the tone may have been.
I thought he was very polite, to be very honest.
So that-
I thought he was. I think.
So let's ask the two people who think that-
the question was very legitimate, and the answer, the response from Rishabh Pant was also.
Question was legitimate. I agree with you.
And
There's
we
nothing
were-
wrong. I don't think there was.
No, people are not
anything-
talking about the question. I think they are talking about.
the answer.
The tone.
No, I think the answer was also pretty
Okay, let's
okay.
hear. Why do you think that? You thought that.
Start with him.
Just start.
Okay, see, the problem is the way he responded, all right, there is no thing that but what happens is, I think he is letting the outside noise affect him. The way how he answered, I am not looking at formats. No, I'm not looking at formats. I'll see where the management has to make me bat. Somewhere down the line, I think you're exposing your mental
But
vulnerability.
what did he in fact said, you asked him where you want to bat. He was very clear. He said, I want to open in T20.
And
Bat middle order and then-
I think maybe he didn't take a dig at Harsha Bhogle, by the way. I think
No, he didn't. He didn't.
and when he says that I would always prefer to open, he is sending a message to the team management and the selectors.
No,
That's
or the other way around. He has been told by team management that you're going to open in T20 and bat middle order. I don't know whether that is what he is.
But he should also open for his franchisee then.
Yeah.
But see, he plays.
He's the captain. No,
He plays a
Nikhil,
different role in this
that's my
franchise.
problem. That is precisely why in T20s India doesn't do well. Because Nikhil has a different role at his franchisee and then he gets selected for India for a different role.
No, I'll tell you why.
Why can't Nikhil have the same role here and there as well?
I'll tell you because see again, okay, in India, for Delhi, he has an opener like a Prithvi Shaw who can play attacking cricket, and they need someone around who could play responsibility around who the innings need to revolve around. So let's say in India, he'll have a Virat Kohli was doing.
So
the
he has a
role,
different role, not for
Hardik
his
Pandya was doing a
franchisee.
role.
So my point is,
Yeah, different role. For
so the IPL has no meaning at all in terms of your preparation as an Indian player for the World Cups and the bigger tournaments.
No, it should.
It is only a franchisee tournament.
For T20 World
Yeah.
Cup, it's
So you
never
play
an Indian
IPL,
preparation.
only for the franchisee. not for your own self or for the Indian cricket.
Also, the harsh truth is that in franchisee cricket, in IPL, there is a lot. It's not what he wants to do, but a lot is decided. The coach is far more powerful in the IPL than Indian cricket.
Nikhil, a painter is a painter.
Owners are exactly.
A painter
They
is a
decide
painter.
very
A
well.
singer is a singer. An actor is an actor.
Yeah. So, he's a
So if
pattern
you
for
open for your franchisee and get runs, it'll allow you ways to succeed. It'll give you confidence. It'll prepare you, and then you can do the same while you play for India. Then again, you keep selecting players who play 1, 2, 3 for their franchisee, and somebody will bat at 4, somebody will bat at 5, and somebody will bat at 6. How is that going to work?
So, okay, let's take a look at England, the most successful team. They have this. Moeen Ali will sometime bat top order in an IPL or a franchise. There gets to bat 6 and 7. You
They
get
have the
used to
luxury.
it.
They really have problem
Besto
of
sometimes
plenty.
has open, goes at 4 somewhere,
Right.
comes there to open. I mean, I'm saying because in franchise cricket, different players.
No,
different roles.
Nikhil, my simple point is when somebody says that ideally I would want to open in T20s, you should ideally also want to open for your franchisee. That's a simple thing that I'm saying.
Yeah. Ideal scenario, yes.
Yes.
But I want to know what is that Mokif? Was it his own Mokif
Of
or
course.
was the team management?
I think he's talking about his own self. His own
No,
self.
I think this is another thing that he wants to open. But you said that you didn't find his response too great.
Again, I could be wrong. Maybe I also
no, it's an
misconstrued.
opinion.
No,
I
we could be
misconstrued.
wrong. We could be wrong.
No.
Harsha would be
Maybe
wrong,
I
Rishabh Pant would
misconstrued.
be wrong.
Maybe I misconstrued. No, Harsha was not wrong.
No, that's what I'm saying. Anyway,
Rishabh could have admitted that he is not getting runs.
Yeah, he's not.
Again, there's a counter to this.
which he did, by the way.
Yeah.
Which he did.
No, there's a counter. That's what I'm saying. There's a counter to this. I think he said, "Don't judge me now. Judge me when I'm 32." So there could be a situation where he perhaps meant that I am not Virender Sehwag yet. Maybe.
No, I don't think you say that.
Let-
I
No,
think
let him
we would
finish.
not know. We would not know.
Okay.
Maybe he was giving that respect to Virender Sehwag that don't judge me now. I'm just 24, 25. You judge me when I'm 32, 33 or whatever. I think the problem is once you realize that there is a problem, then you look at ways of dealing with it. Till you don't see the problem, you would not know how to succeed or how to get over the problem. So Rishabh Pant or any other player, they need to understand. The board needs to understand. The selectors need to understand. The captain, the coach, individually, somebody like Rishabh Pant, they need to understand that there is fundamentally something wrong somewhere.
Doesn't he realize that he is going through a bad phase? I'm sure he knows that. And he's trying to fix it. We saw him in the World Cup and he was doing extra batting sessions. He was one of those guys who was there for every practice session. Clearly, he knows that there is an issue. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard. Did you hear Shikhar Dhawan in the
Today.
post-match press conference? He was asked this question about Sanju Samson, and Shikhar made it very clear. And this is what we had been saying here earlier, or what the
Yes.
team management thought. Shikhar said that, listen, two things. He said last ODI that before this series that Rishabh Pant played, he got 100.
100, yes.
Do you drop someone who got 100 suddenly? Secondly, he says that yes, Sanju is doing well, but sometime
He will have
you
to
got
wait.
to wait for your chance even if you're doing well.
Yes.
And who better than Shikhar Dhawan to tell you
Exactly.
that? Then he goes on to say sometime we don't see just one series, two series, one tournament. We look at the larger picture. He said the larger picture, and we see what is the potential in a player or whether he's a match winner. Then you give him the longer rope. So I think that was the thought process of giving Rishabh. That he's on thin ice is something that he mentioned. His time is running out,
Yes.
Rishabh. I agree. His time is running out. But why he was selected ahead of Sanju Samson was made very clear by the
I think if you just go by his response, I think he was the response was pretty okay, to be very
Rishabh or
Rishabh,
Shikhar? I don't know.
because he said yes. He almost admitted that I'm not doing well in
Yes.
T20 international. That he
admitted that.
Yes.
He
He
admitted,
Yes.
which is perhaps that's the bone of contention here that we've been discussing for the past 5, 6, 8 months, that Rishabh Pant has, we often say that he has underachieved in white ball cricket, but lately if you see his ODI career, he's done fairly well. In fact, he's
No,
done
Rahul,
very well.
I'll tell you. All of us, we make mistakes. That's what I'm saying. Yes, his last ODI 100 was in England.
Yeah.
but that was some 5-6 months ago.
Yes.
And I think in these intervening 5-6 months, Rishabh is perhaps at his lowest. And I dare say, and I fear for the fact that his lack of confidence or whatever may actually start reflecting in his test matches also.
Yes.
See, we are just assuming that he'll come out of this rut once the format changes.
May not, you're right.
Having watched him, and this is the Rishabh Pant we all love. And this is the Rishabh Pant who gave us hope. The world looks at Rishabh Pant as the biggest match winner. And we've been saying that for years now. But the fact is that there is something wrong. I don't know how and why. And even in the one days, he was not looking settled. Even today, he was a pale shadow of himself. And if he goes into the Bangladesh series like this, even the test matches will not be so easy. See, again, I've been saying this for years now. It is not a switch that you turn off and turn on.
So does he need rest?
Maybe.
He's not able to shut off that outside noise.
What? Very good point.
He's not able to shut off that.
Very good
Who
point.
is able to?
I'll give you an example.
No, that's a brilliant
Who
point.
has been able to?
No, Virat was.
Virat
handled that
Rohit.
situation.
For 2 years.
Yeah, Nick, Rahul, the situation for Virat deteriorated for what, about 7-8 months. I think this year. The last year had been fairly good enough for him. He was not getting centuries.
It's not just about getting centuries. Even in that World Test Championship,
I think Rishabh Pant's the actress.
I was going to ask you this question. Supposing he's walking on the boundary line and somebody says something to him, will he keep walking or will he answer the person?
He's just 24. See, he also said he's just 24, Nikhil. And once somebody plays for India,
something happened.
No, I'm asking generally.
If somebody is playing for India, we assume
that's a way of judging.
We assume that that person, regardless of the age, will be very mature. He may be mature with his cricket, but individually with his life, he may not be. He may just be a 24-year-old.
He's 25.
I'll tell you. So I think Rishabh Pant will need good mentors.
25. October
He needs somebody who can tell him the truth. I think the problem with the stars in India or elsewhere is that they do not see the truth coming as it is.
Yep.
There are people, they'd be friends, they'd be supporters, his managers who tell him kuch nahi galat hua. The moment, that's what I'm saying. He just needs to shut the outside noise.
Because why I said
and
this,
work on his game, and I'm sure he must be. Let me tell you, we were at the Asia Cup. I was there for 4-5 days, and throughout the World Cup, he was the only player who would turn up for practice every day. Every day.
And you wouldn't see him in the hotel lobby or roaming around here and there.
No, restaurants, but everyone goes out.
Yeah, everybody does, yeah.
No, I'm saying.
So we will also see him if we go there, no?
That you didn't see him roaming around in the lobby. You would barely see him.
No, he was, yes.
In Asia Cup, yes.
He was just confined
for the room.
Exactly.
We saw him
all alone.
in a restaurant, which he went to, which is normal.
And Nikhil, at times what happens is, I still remember, again, when I've been quoting this interview for years now, and I think it's a valuable lesson for all of us. Even us, as in the cricketers also. When I interviewed Kapil Dev and Virat Kohli together, and this was 2012, and Kapil Dev said, I said, Paji, do you want to suggest Virat something? He said, beta tu fail hoga, ek din bahut buri tarah fail hoga. Wo hona hi hai. But the way and how soon you come out of that failure will make you. And he failed in England, and then he went on to get runs in Australia. So I think Rishabh Pant is going through the most horrible time in his career, and not in terms of innings.
In terms of mental expectation. Because 2018, similar situation with Pant. Remember, he fluffed a stumping. Chants of Dhoni.
And I think this
to be fair to Rishabh Pant, he perhaps could be the best wicket keeper in the world at the moment. By the way, in terms of wicket keeping skills, he could be the best.
But he set the benchmark in terms of his batting.
It is only because
he's your best match winner in tests.
best match
He's
winner.
done what no other keepers 3-4 decades ago
and
had
that
done.
too, you know, you can
no
still
Indian keeper is done.
No Indian keeper. Yeah.
you can still win matches, but
So at
That doesn't
24
also
from
mean
the-
he should get a long,
But,
very long.
you know,
road.
See, at 24,
Your-
he already has a legacy that all of us want him to adhere to. And I think the pressure on him now is not just only his own game, Sanju Samson as well.
Yes.
Because Sanju Samson is sitting out.
Very unfortunate. But why is Sanju Samson not in
there in
Bangladesh? Okay, I agree. This time you couldn't play him because Shikhar has said that we
Nikhil,
wanted
I
to
have
give a longer
decided
road.
not
When
to
is-
talk about selections till January.
because they
What is this jalebi? Nobody will be able to decipher this jalebi. Na?
I thought you were going to say, I will now not talk about selection. After the team is selected, we must back it. But you
No, what the selectors have done, they've already done. Leave it. And not just the selectors, by the way. You know, when we say Bangladesh ye nahi hai, wahan ye nahi hai, you think only the 5 selectors, the 4 selectors decided on this. Your coach, your captain, were they not part of it?
Yeah.
They would have also given them the parchi na, yaar yahan pe isko rotate karna hai, yahan pe isko rotate karna hai. So
But Sanju क्यों rotate? Sanju तो खेला ही नहीं है. Why would you want to rotate him?
that's what I'm saying.
Poor guy.
No, but then see that also means, unfortunately for
are you taking these?
Unfortunately for Sanju and his fans and his supporters and Shashi Tharoor, maybe
He can also be in fan and supporter.
Yeah.
maybe
And he knows
maybe
his cricket, by the way. Huh?
Yeah.
Shashi
maybe
Yeah, of
the coach, the captain, and this group of selectors don't perceive him to be part of your mainstream one-day team
And
anymore.
that's the problem.
Why?
I don't know. How would I know?
No, but how
I
do you
thought-
perceive a perception?
Yeah, I
if someone is
believe
getting-
Rohit Sharma when he said earlier this year that Sanju Samson's game is so good, his horizontal bat shots, he'll be very good and useful in Australia. So we knew then that it'll be difficult to fit him in the 11 or in the 15, but Sanju Samson will have an outside chance. He didn't. You gave him a comparatively longer run in ODIs, he scored runs. He played in the first ODI. His partnership with Shreyas Iyer allowed you to get to 300 runs.
Yes.
Unfortunately, he's been dropped. And I think that is also weighing on the mind of Rishabh Pant. That is weighing on the mind of Rishabh
No,
Pant.
what is weighing on that? That he has
That
pressure.
Sanju Samson is
Sanju's-
sitting outside.
Yeah. No,
feeling
he's
the
right
heat.
behind him. But then that's what I'm saying. But now you're not taking him to Bangladesh. Then what is the kind of
So
message?
it is not Rishabh Pant who's decided not to take him.
Exactly my point. Does
Your
it?
coach, captain, and the selectors.
But I thought.
Firstly,
I thought just one thing. I
selectors are
just-
still there.
Yeah.
Selectors are still there. They're not out. They're not out. So what was the hurry to announce the squad for? Was
Again.
it pre-decided that the selection committee
Who-
will be disbanded?
Who decided? चलो यार चारों टीमें announce कर देते. Who decided?
Board.
So it is not the selectors. No?
That's what I'm saying. What was the hurry?
I don't
Whether
think
the call was
no,
taken by
I,
the-
I don't
and-
think I don't think the selection committee has a what you call they are in control right now. I think
No, as they are on the
it's just like ad hoc now, need
Yeah.
basis.
No.
So they had to send 2 replacements. They sent 2 replacements. It's just an ad hoc committee right now, an ad hoc.
Just to
The BCCI
fulfill-
were brilliant. The Indian cricket team has no plan B or plan C, but BCCI has. This was the plan B.
What?
Select all the things. We know if we don't do well in the T20 World Cup, we are anyway going to get sacked.
You know, as far as Rishabh Pant is concerned, because you asked that question, I think amongst all 4 of us, I think I would be the biggest critique of Rishabh Pant. But your question was, how do you see that entire conversation that Harsha Bhogle had with Rishabh Pant this morning? I thought that Harsha Bhogle's question was pretty legitimate and valid, and the way Rishabh Pant answered it was also pretty okay. He said that he admitted that I'm going through a rough patch in T20s as far as my ODI record is concerned, especially in the recent past or in the recent Mazi. It has been fairly okay, and Test cricket you don't have to debate. So
Just one thing, because you said that. Yeah, sorry. You wanted?
No, please.
I'm saying because you said that maybe Sanju is not part of the plan and that's why he's not there. But I remember Sanju Samson, a recent interview where he said that he was told by this management, which is the current coach and the captain, that they are looking at him as number 6 in ODIs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of role that he's
Who
going to
told
be
him?
for. The current management.
It is very
As in who?
transparent. Team
Would be
management
coach
has to
and
be the
yeah,
coach.
coach and
Do they have names?
captain.
It has to be the
Coach and captain.
Which coach? VV Lakshman.
The same
Indian
coach who
cricket
spoke
team.
to
Who is the Indian coach?
the same
Everyone
coach who
knows
spoke to Riddhiman Saha and
Yeah,
told him that we are not.
Which coach? Does he have a name?
The same coach who spoke to Riddhiman Saha and told him that we are looking beyond you.
The same coach said,
Yeah.
He's been very
Rahul
transparent.
Dravid and Rohit Sharma, your coach and captain.
And who
You know
is the
that.
coach in Bangladesh?
I think the same coach
Same
who told
coach.
Riddhiman
Who's the
Saha.
captain in Bangladesh?
Same captain?
So who's decided Sanju Samson is not needed in Bangladesh?
I don't know.
How would you not know? So you are telling
Selectors
me,
have
You know, by
you
the
are
way-
telling me that Sanju Samson was told by the coach and the captain that we are looking at you as our number 6, one of the one of the many that we are exploring, and you try to fit into that position, and we'll see how will you go. But then they sent him to New Zealand, where nobody went, and in Bangladesh they said, oh, he's not needed. And who's going to be your number 6 in Bangladesh, by the way?
There's no Hardik Pandya, there's no Sanju Samson,
Number 6 in Bangladesh?
could be
Could
anybody.
be Deepak Huda. Is Huda there?
No, could be anybody. What do you mean by could be anybody?
So your
There has to be one number 6, na yaar? Who? Rahul Tripathi?
No.
Now
Rajat
with the
Patika.
way Washington
think
Sundar
they'll
is
get
batting, he will be
Washington
on number
Sundar.
6.
Washi.
Sundar will be on
So
number 6.
it is not Sanju Samson's fault, no?
Akshar Patel will come,
obviously
so he
who's,
could be
who's
7.
somebody who's sitting out, it won't be, you know, for
That's
me
what I'm
the
saying.
entire
I leave. That's what I'm saying, यार. ये छोड़ो न्यूजीलैंड को मिट्टी डालो.
वो तो
बांग्लादेश में मिट्टी डालो. Let us look afresh. I think if I were Sanju Samson, I would not lose hope. I would pray for January to come soon. I would pray for January to come soon, and if I was Sanju Samson, I would wait for the next opportunity and not brood over what's happened in Bangladesh. Maybe they've told him, listen, some astrologer has told us that you were required only in November and not in December.
you know,
You never know.
Yeah.
Shivam, nikalna
The way the teams are selected,
for
and unfortunately, I think the Indian cricket system now is a system of rejection, and I've been saying this for a long time. You are not looking at making the players become champions.
not selecting but rejecting.
You don't select players, you reject them. Sanju Samson has not been selected. They've rejected him without giving him a fair opportunity.
Yep.
You know, I really wish if they had backed Sanju Samson the way they backed Shreyas Iyer. The way they backed Shreyas Iyer, if they had backed Sanju Samson, maybe Sanju, he would have been as successful.
But please ask Shreyas Iyer. I don't think he would be happy with the way
exactly,
he's
and
been
he
backed
is
on.
not, by the way, he is not
Yeah,
happy,
yeah.
by the way.
Why is he not happy?
He would have thought that he makes the cut for various teams.
But
maybe
why
the T20
should he
World
be
Cup.
happy?
No, why is he not happy?
He is playing these bilateral series. He's been
No, everybody
scoring
else
runs.
was.
Sorry, not everybody.
No, see, Shreyas,
Sanju
I'm
Samson is
sorry.
not playing.
Shreyas Iyer wasn't as successful in the bilaterals in the last 1.5.
No. ODIs.
I'm talking about, you're talking about the World Cup, yaar.
But
T20.
T20s to he
So
has-
the one day started, yaar. The first one day series that you're playing
T20s
after the World Cup, he's getting to bat at number 3,
Prior to
which is Virat
IPL.
Kohli's position.
and if Surya Kumar, I think they could have
Sanju
been,
Samson can also bat at number 3, no?
and there could
Why
have
don't you
been-
have Sanju Samson batting
There
at
could
number
have
3?
been a problem to select
Virat Kohli
between
replaces.
Surya Kumar
So that's what
Yadav
I'm
and
saying.
Shreyas Iyer for that
Yes.
Bangladesh series. Surya Kumar Yadav is sitting out, has been rested, or I'm
Yeah,
sure
he's
he's
not
rested.
going. Yeah.
So it makes
Shreyas
it
Iyer's
easier for the
form.
team management to pick Shreyas Iyer.
No, Shreyas has scored runs.
Then
Sanju's not got chances, yaar.
Not
And
at all.
Sanju Samson, you're going to judge him at number 6, knowing fully well that
He's never batted in that position.
But he
No, no,
himself
no.
said in the interview, I'm happy to bat whenever.
Yeah,
everybody
what
would
options
say
does he
that.
have?
Everybody would
But
say.
no,
He's
Rishabh
got no
Pant
other
told you
options.
today where he wants to bat.
Even Tendulkar
Yeah, but
would
Rishabh
say
Pant has
that.
said where he wants to bat.
That too fully knowing that he'll never get that position.
Who?
Rishabh Pant. Where he
Which
wants
Which
to bat.
he has got.
No, he's talking
He's
about
got opener in
consistently.
T20s.
He's talking about
But
T20.
long term,
You never know.
Never.
They are going with him now.
Maybe
In New Zealand,
somebody
they batted him for.
retires.
Stands as a question because he says Sanju doesn't fit in T20s due to team combination. His ODI records are irrelevant because by default he is out. I ask Vicky Paji once again today, how does one motivate himself? How does Sanju motivate? Next big kholo, jaldi se.
Yes, Sanju's got no other option than to believe in himself and to believe in what the coach and the captain have told him. I think, like I said, he's got to wait for January to come soon. And that is when we will get to know what is the vision that the Indian cricket team has for the future in January, not in December.
Gurupal is
Do they have a
saying
vision?
we'll find
I
out.
hope they have.
Gurupal is saying players not selected in 11 are best players according to lockdown kids. Pant getting a long rope like Jadeja, he will become a better player in the future. So he feels, Gurupal feels it's good that Pant is getting a long
The
rope.
very definition of a long
Next
rope
one.
was Jadeja, yes. He got
Yeah.
great backing from MS Dhoni.
Rahul Vasudev from Australia says, guys, frankly, Pant is overrated in limited overs. Number 4 and 5 are open slots. KL Rahul average at 5 is 85. Yeah, we've discussed that.
Yes.
Shreyas is best at 4. Why Pant should replace them is what Rahul is saying. But in that case, Rahul, then your namesake Rahul will also have to keep.
Yes.
If that's maybe that's an option.
And with his
that India
fitness woes, I don't think they'll want him to
has.
keep.
Next. No, you want to sing something?
No.
Nitin Khanna ji is a huge Sanju Samson friend.
Okay.
I would not say fan. They've known each other.
Okay.
So he's saying, what's his fault?
I agree, not his fault. But as Shikhar said today, sometimes it's not your fault, and he's been doing well. But sometimes you got to wait a little
No,
longer. for your chance.
tomorrow Shikhar
what-
Dhawan could face the same
Yes.
Shikhar,
situation.
that's why I said who better than
You are
Shikhar to
seeing
say
the
that?
dark side of the problem of plenty.
There is no, I don't,
Problem of?
Plenty.
Wait.
no.
No, it's not a problem
It's
of plenty.
plenty of problems.
Plenty of problems
Plenty of problems.
is what India has.
See, we believed that we were rich enough. We thought that we had A, B, and C teams, and that was a mistake that we made because we were doling out caps. And I don't blame just the selectors for that. It was the board, it was also the coach, the captain, everybody else, all of them put together.
And the vision.
So we've just lost one World Cup. It's not as if the earth has crashed. Last, चलो छोड़ ही दो ना, last छोड़ दो, right
Last भी
off.
छोड़ दो.
तो ये छोड़ दिया ना,
वह छोड़ दो.
छोड़ दिया.
तो यही तो हम छोड़ते ही तो आ रहे हैं.
यार देखो, to be very honest, when you went to Australia, deep inside your heart, you
You knew that we were not favorites.
you were not the favorites. And maybe once you reached the semi-finals, you could have won one game and then won another game, the finals. Maybe you would have become the champions. And I think, as it turned out, the best T20 team in the world
Won the T20.
won the T20 World Cup without being at their best, by the way.
Yeah.
And without their best players also. Wasn't
In the World Cup, could have been any other team, bar the one that played in the finals.
could have been South Africa, could have been Australia, by the way.
Yeah.
Could have been anybody else.
Could have been New
The
Zealand.
World Cup.
So, one World Cup, two World Cups, we've written off. The point is, now you're coming to the main World Cup. And I think all said and done, because the last 3 years, there's been this noise. That is the main World Cup. That is going to happen in India.
Yes.
Technically, your best chance.
Yeah.
And, all they need to do is to pick the right players and to use them the best possible manner.
Who's stopping them to pick right players?
Yeah, Rahul, I'll tell you something.
They're suffering a judgmental
I may not
lapse.
have been the best choice for this show. You brought me here. I may have failed. Is that your fault? Or is that my fault?
No, but
Answer the question.
I think it was the chair's fault.
Which captain, coach, selector, board would have wanted to pick a team that may not have won them the World Cup? You tell
you
me.
give me one choice. You
No, but
give,
in your case, if you coming here, let's say if not perform well, you yourself wouldn't have wanted not to perform well.
that will not
happens.
happen in cricket. No, nobody will say I'm not performing. Let's
see,
That's what I'm saying.
No, but
if
you
they
tell me.
if they
Okay, you
picked
tell me.
Dinesh Karthik or Ashwin, do you think the Indian captain and the coach were preparing
No.
for disaster? They were
Not at all.
No, but
And by the way,
Nobody says that.
by the way,
Nobody's.
Dinesh Karthik did not lose you the semi-final. Ashwin did not lose you the semi-final.
Then Rohit Sharma,
Somebody else did.
your captain.
A lot
Captain
many.
ultimately.
Many players.
Your
All of them
captain,
put together.
Yes.
And not Rishabh Pant as well. By the way.
Yesterday-
Not Hardik Pandya as well. So you look at your 1-2-3, and I'm not saying that the entire World Cup, but looking at that game, you were a trifle slow to begin with.
I think nobody
yesterday
will pinpoint the problem. Nobody, because
Why?
yesterday we were talking about the system, and
No, I'm talking about that particular game.
No,
The game that lost you the semi-final.
no, you lost because you didn't play your best 11. You have to play in the last T20 World Cup also this World
Okay, Rahul, tell me one thing. What was your best 11?
Ashwin doesn't feature in my
Okay,
11.
so it would have been Yuzi Chahal,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Any other choices?
Could be.
Like?
Depends. Horses for courses.
No.
Or maybe.
Yeah, that-
okay. Let me.
That semi-final.
Let me go.
That semi-final, when you came to the office, you were live on Sports Today. What was the 11 that you thought of in the morning?
I knew that this 11 would play, but
Your choice.
I'm talking about the first game against Pakistan. I thought that Yuzi Chahal should have played.
ठीक है,
that 11.
Yuzi
Okay.
Chahal, na? Yuzi Chahal, I agree.
Yes.
Did India lose because Yuzi Chahal wasn't playing in
You
that
never
game?
know. You never know. You never know.
No, these are.
Okay,
you lost the
okay.
game.
I'll tell you.
See, 169 is not a bad total, but it was
Okay.
not a good total against England on that ground. A ground which had the best batting strip in Australia, and by the way, the warmest day that we faced during the World Cup, the entire 1 month. The sun was out. It was a warm afternoon. Perfect conditions to bat. What did India do? 10 overs, they were 61 or 62.
62 for 2.
So you lost the semi-finals because of the first 10
Because
overs.
maybe you
The
had
next
realized
time-
by then. You had
What?
realized. And I thought they were a bit adamant. Okay, you had your chief selector in Australia. Why was he there?
Why was he? I don't know.
Why was he sent there?
No. But has there been a precedent where the selection, the touring selector is a part of the management to pick the 11?
But there are a lot of
No.
I agree, but I am saying there are a lot of things that happen which are not part of the protocol, which are not written somewhere constitutionally.
Rahul, I agree. But again, my question to you is simple. You're talking about the selection. I know Yuzi Chahal should have played. But you did not lose the semi-final because Yuzi Chahal wasn't playing.
It is not just
Nahi,
about
yaar, you answer
it
me
is
na.
not just about semi-final.
Yaar,
It
I'm
is-
talking about the semi-final.
it
You
is
reached
not-
the semi-finals.
It is not just about semi-final.
Yaar, Pakistan team, doors were shut on them. They were down, out, everywhere. And then the last day,
Okay,
wait, Holland beats South
South
Africa.
Africa.
And Pakistan are through. And then they win the semi-final. And then they're in the final. They would have won the final also, like in 1992. 1992, it rained, na?
Yeah.
That is why the points were split.
Yes.
And then
Corner
Okay.
Tigers.
on the day of the semi-final, there were 4 teams. New Zealand versus Pakistan. Pakistan beat New Zealand. They made it to the finals. The game started at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
7 o'clock, na? Local time.
Yeah.
Till 6:59, India and England technically had a 50-50 chance of making to the finals. So my question to you is, that day, why did India lose that semi-final?
Part of the reason is how you batted in the first 6 overs.
First
And
10 overs.
First 10 overs. And you didn't play a leg spinner in UC Chahal.
So,
play
no,
the
that's
best-
fine. No, I understand.
And by the way, and if your entire Indian team or the top order was playing in the same fashion throughout the tournament, even against Pakistan, against South Africa, so it was of course a huge collapse. But and again in the semi-final also. So who do you blame for all this?
Rahul, you're not getting my point, yaar. मैं larger में जा ही नहीं रहा हूँ. I'm not being. We've discussed all the problems.
So you no.
I am talking about that day.
Okay,
That day.
let's not blame individuals. Let's not.
No, I'm not blaming individuals.
Something must have gone wrong.
Oh, bhai, I am
day.
blaming the dressing room. I am blaming your
Why-
management.
What happened to the dressing room?
Yaar, you're-
Okay, if everybody is shouting on top of their voices that why aren't you playing Yuzi Chahal? Why aren't you playing Falana player? Why aren't you playing Dhimkana player? Don't you think that the message was also going to the dressing room?
Why do you then say that Saurav Ganguly was perhaps one of the greatest Indian captains when he made a huge blunder of not listening to people in the 2003 World Cup final? Everybody said, play Anil Kumble, yaar, he played Dinesh Mongia. But then the team made it to the finals. Then why is it that you are saying, oh, Saurav Ganguly was a great captain? You know, by reaching the finals in the 2003 World Cup, that is when the real journey began. Then why are you saying that? I am saying, forget the selection. Just that very day.
I think it was your approach.
Yes.
Approach, and the way you allowed a few individuals to run the game the way they wanted it to.
Precisely the point.
But who allowed them to?
The management, the captain, the vice captain, the senior players and the coaches.
But then I thought they were part of some system.
What did Chetan Sharma have to do with that?
Nothing. I am saying, by the way, now that you've sacked them, at least the message, although I don't feel or I don't think that they've been sacked, because yesterday, in fact, on SportsTalk also, I was saying the same thing. What does that release say?
No, there is a possibility, honestly, of Chetan Sharma becoming the chief selector again. If he's reapplied, I don't know.
I'll tell you. Okay, I'm coming to that. I am saying yesterday also the same thing, because the press release, fortunately we got a release at least, says that BCCI is inviting applications for the post of 5 selectors. Nowhere does it say that the current regime or the current set of selectors have been sacked. Okay, it is just that people have been told, a few people have been told, just to send out this message that BCCI has acted.
Yeah.
You've sacked people. You are, at least the message that is being sent out is that the selectors have been sacked. You tell me, will you be the selector next time?
There are a few who applied.
No, there are many, by the way.
So, and these very guys would have applied the last time also. And if they don't get through this time, they'll apply the next time as well.
But who will apply?
These guys.
No, these guys I understand. Maninder Singh has been applying for last few many years.
Yeah.
Okay, there are a lot of people who've been applying.
So who do you expect to apply?
Somebody with I'm not saying that the people who've applied, the likes of the names that we have, I'm not saying they don't hold any stature in Indian cricket, but maybe perhaps with a bigger name.
What does a name have to do with?
It has a lot to do.
No,
with
like
it.
what? So bigger name would be somebody who's achieved a lot in
more than the people that you have currently or who have applied.
Who's been the most famous Indian coach till now?
Greg Chappell, most famous. Kapil Dev,
With the pedigree and the
Kapil Dev and
Gary Kirsten.
Kapil Dev and Greg Chappell have been the
and those two eras,
biggest names.
Indian cricket just went downhill.
Yeah.
Went downhill.
So Raj Singh Dungarpur, who has not played Test cricket, made one of the best choices ever as a selector,
Yes.
which was to get
Azhar.
Tendulkar.
Azhar too.
No, first one was not to take Tendulkar to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So 89, when India went to West Indies, there was this noise around Tendulkar, and Raj Singh Dungarpur said, "Nahi, ye ladka bhi nahi jayega." He sent him to Pakistan later on, and then Mohammad Azharuddin became the captain. So nobody questioned him. Raj Bhai had not played Test cricket.
Yes.
So he built his stature not on the basis of Test cricket or the the runs that he had scored, but on the basis of
Administration skills and also
The respect
management.
that he used to command in that cricket fraternity.
different era.
So
Those were the pre-IPL days, my dear. If tomorrow,
and by the way, coaching and selection committee are two different things. That I think
I mean, Chetan Sharma again,
is
his stature would have been much, much more than MSK Prasad,
Yeah.
right?
yes.
MSK Prasad played 4 or 5 or 6 Test matches. Chetan Sharma, still, he was a star of your 1986 victory in England.
Close to 70
First-
games for India
Yeah.
between ODI
First
and
World Cup
Test.
hat-trick
But this
taker
is
for
the
India.
IPL. This is the IPL age,
Yeah.
where one of his biggest problems would have been to tell players who were not getting selected, "Beta, you've not been part of the team," knowing fully well that the moment Chetan Sharma was to put the phone down, the players might have started abusing him. because this is the IPL generation. So now if you're telling me that
I'm saying that there is no fault that lies with the selection committee for me. I don't think you blamed them. They've been made.
No, I'm not saying there is no fault. Again, you can't blame Shivam. But if we start abusing here, Shivam has to take a call within 5 seconds to switch or shut off the machine. Then he can't say, "Sir, main kya karta?"
No,
So I would not absolve them altogether. Their share was their share. Might have been 33%, if not 100, but it wasn't certainly zero. It certainly wasn't zero. If you see something is not right, you got to tell the other person, "Nah, this is not right." So by giving the captain and the coach what they gave them the last World Cup, they made the same mistake. Even though I feel that this World Cup team wasn't bad. I mean, they had the best possible players. And since Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid wanted Dinesh Karthik and Ashwin, the selectors gave them. But did they anticipate a situation then, the selectors? Like what Rahul is mentioning. See, once you've selected the team, even if you're traveling with the team, you would not be able to control the 11. They could have foreseen the future while the team was being picked. Could there be a situation where Rishabh Pant will have to sit out and then we'll have to lose him as a player if Dinesh Karthik is part of the team? Could there be a situation if the captain is asking for Ashwin? Could there be a situation where we lose Yuzi Chahal also? Now this was what they should have anticipated. Again, I feel, having reached the semi-finals, it wasn't because of Chahal versus Ashwin that you lost, or even Dinesh Karthik versus Rishabh Pant that you lost that game. You didn't. The semi-finals.
No.
I understand
India
what you're
were
saying.
below par throughout the tournament. As simple as that. It's not just about semi-final.
I think India were India.
No, I think
India,
they were below par.
In the T20 World Cup, Rahul, they achieved what they had set out for. To be very honest. They're playing England. And I think England, by the way, had the only blip for England that day was the last 5-6 overs that they bowled.
Yeah.
They were very ordinary. And they let India get to 169. But when they came out to bat, you knew what was in store.
Yeah.
I mean, deep inside our hearts, me and Nikhil, we were sitting there. We knew 169, okay,
50-50.
Runs on the board, perhaps, big game. But cricket's changed. Take out all the conversations that we've had before the World Cup, the entire 1 year. We were talking about scores in excess of 200. And on that wicket, in the semi-final, you needed 190, 180.
Yes.
All you had to do was to pick 3 balls in the first 10 overs and hit 3 sixes, which your batsman did not. 3 sixes would have been 80 runs in the first 10 overs.
Yeah.
80 runs in the first 10 overs, you would have surely gotten another 120 in the last 10.
Yes.
So you would have reached
190, 200, yeah.
So I'm adding 18 runs to 187, then 169, that make it 187. But then for the momentum, 20 more runs. You would have been in excess of 200. You might have won the game. So the 3 balls that you chose to defend and not take on the bowler, that is why you lost. And it was the approach, like Rahul said.
Yeah.
Your dressing room, the defensive mindset, playing T20s much like you play ODIs. You got to learn from it now.
And even here, you tried playing ODIs like T20Is here. Some of the shots that were played today, I mean, there is just no discipline.
You know what?
They are.
It serves them right. The aina, like we say, the mirror. This New Zealand tour has now given you the mirror. You're debating non-match days, you're debating match days, but you're not talking about the match because there have been no games.
4 out of 6 games have been rain impacted.
So,
That's it.
I don't know.
Yeah. So in a way, I think it's neither 2 steps back, neither it's 1 step forward. You are stuck in neutral when you have to look at it. This New Zealand tour, the Indian team has been stuck in neutral. It's not given you that many options that you can be really proud of. And the problem of plenty, you've got plenty of problems. Because player rotation and player role clarity, what is it going to be? That is the major question that we are heading into with 8-9 months remaining for the
As far
World
as
Cup.
selectors are concerned, they are usually given the choice to pick these fringe players and the standbys. The main players, the core team, the 11, the 12 are picked by the team
They don't
management.
even get the fringe players. I think because we've discussed so much on the World Cup and the debacle and whatever. I mean, I don't think the selectors even had that opportunity of picking even the fringe players. Standby, yes.
Standbys, but only
Standby,
to.
yes.
But even that was
But even the 15
overruled. No?
You
You picked a couple of standbys or
Yeah,
4
which
standbys,
did not.
which eventually
I'm saying
changed.
even the
Last
15
time also and this time too.
Yeah, even the 15 was.
At times, I think this entire selection process is flawed. Entire. Who's sitting there, who's not sitting there. This entire, I think Ravi Shastri was the one, no?
Let's not
John
have,
Wright, no?
Let's not have selector. If everything and in a way it could be right. Let the coach and the captain only pick the team.
Yeah.
Let there be one thought process is what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't need too many thought processes. Yes, it'll work. Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes so be.
And somebody of course is siding with someone. I'm saying, why I'm saying
That's human
because
nature.
because I remember at that time reports were leaked that Saurav Ganguly, the BCCI president, used to be present in the selection meetings, and we also questioned it. A lot many media organizations in fact pointed that out. Saurav Ganguly overnight became a villain, of course, because of what happened with him in that episode with Virat Kohli. And so, but why do you even need the board secretary also to be there as a convener?
No, somebody
Convener
has to
can
do
be
the-
anybody. Convener can be anybody. Why
This
do you
has
need?
been a protocol.
And why are you appointing former cricketers as board president? If they are sitting there, I don't. Today, in hindsight, I think there's no problem. I know it's a
No,
matter
they're
of
coming
constitution
through,
and protocol.
Yeah, they're coming through a democratic process.
No,
They've come from their own state board.
No, that is. I'm
And
saying
they happen to be cricketers.
So I'm saying the board president. By the way, board president ratifies the selections.
Yeah.
Let him be present there. What is wrong? Now the good thing is that now you are appointing cricketers or former cricketers as your board presidents.
Yes.
Let them be there. Ultimately, they have to ratify it. Let them be there in the selection committee meetings.
Usually,
Why do you want to?
No, the practice was
And
because
what
they
is
may
the
not be
job of a
available.
convener? What is the job of a convener? That he comes there, says we can actually go ahead with this meeting, start this meeting, gets over. So I'm saying a convener can be anybody.
Yeah. So it is a secretary.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anybody
so
should.
I am saying so.
I don't think that anyway has an impact.
No,
on
it
how-
does. I feel it does because.
I'm saying eventually let the coach and the captain decide. Finish it.
Yeah, then let's not have. I think
Let them
for the
pick.
longest time we never had these paid selectors.
Yeah.
It was only 10 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Some 10
You're
12
just shooting the messenger, yeah.
Yeah.
The selection
exactly.
committee and this
That's
and
right.
that. I mean, it's the approach of the Indian team, like you rightly said, Rahul.
but-
the day, no, I'll tell
But
you.
you didn't know that this will be their approach.
Whose approach?
The team's approach, batting approach.
So why do you blame the secretary or the board president
Yeah.
or the selectors?
No, but
No, yaar,
they
so how
Selectors
can
could have done anything.
What
But
could
I'm
they
saying these are
taken
in-
Yeah, they changed the ODI captain last year, and they've been abused like anything. They've been abused like anything. So you are saying the board president should be part of the selection committee. He's been abused like anything.
But
everything that he
but there
gained
is
on
an
the field.
accountability. You sacked them. Why? Why did you sack them?
You
then?
said they have not been sacked.
No. I still feel that.
So who's saying they've been sacked? See, technically, I think a couple of them had the terms.
Couple of them.
Yeah.
Who,
So
Devashish-
once you advertise for the posts, so it is assuming that the previous committee has been
Shunted out or whatever.
or removed
Or
their
formally
tenure
replaced.
has come.
replaced. So they've been sacked is a word that was coined by the journalists in their tweets, in their copies, in their chats. The email did not say.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that is my assumption. That is your assumption. That is the assumption of the many Mathadishis. So what? the sports journalists. Oh, it's okay. I mean, let us not shoot the messenger.
No, but who's the messenger?
The point is, Indian cricket needs to know that you will only win when you go out to win a game. Just by turning out for the games will not win you World Cups, and this is the realization that you need to have right now in 2023. I think in 2020s we did not work on our game, on our players, on our approach, and yet we expected that we'll be the world champions. Come on, yeah, let us be realistic.
No, for example, I think Australia, they have the head coach as part of the selection committee, no? Yes. Officially. Now, as of now, temporary coach is Andrew McDonald, and he is also a member in the selection 3-member selection committee.
Yes.
So it is George Bailey as the chairman, Andrew McDonald.
National convener,
No, Andrew McDonald is a selector.
Yeah.
Plus
the coach.
Well, England, I think, do not
Misbah
have
did that
a
for
selection committee
Pakistan.
anymore.
No, Luke Wright was just appointed.
For I think 1 year or 2 years, they didn't have a selection committee.
No, they've always had a selection committee. Yeah.
Point is something.
Smith? No.
Yeah,
He was, but then he was
Director of cricket. Yeah.
Director of cricket was Andrew Strauss.
Andrew Strauss. Of course, he replaced Ashley Giles.
Ashley Giles.
No, but yeah,
Misbah-ullah tried it. He was both the head coach and the PCB chief.
So if the team management, the coach and captain, they have to take a call. If they are deciding, let them be officially part of the selection committee. I'm saying.
No, they are. They don't have a vote, but they are part of the selection committee. The coach and the captain are definitely.
Let them be officially part.
No, officially they are officially part of the team. The selection committee. Yeah. It's not as if a secret phone call is made to them. They are definitely part of the selection committee.
They don't have a voting right. As in
now this has been going on for so many years. Indian cricket has seen more good days than the bad ones, and you're progressing as a cricketing country. Your system, your team, your cricket performances, they've been getting better. It's just that the World Cup or the ICC tournaments, India has not been able to win for the last 9 years. So what if you were in England? When was the first ICC tournament that you won? If you were South Africa, which was the last ICC tournament that you won? New Zealand.
Africa started only in 92.
So the glass is half full, more than half full. It's just that this format was a torment for India. And in the last, I think the problem for Indian cricket was when you did not have a BCCI for 3 years. When you had committee of administrators running the show. In that tenure, the players became prima donnas. So the players could decide who the selector would be, who the coach could be, or what the team should look like. And I think that has altered the balance in Indian cricket. Maybe in times to come, maybe this is a wake-up call. Maybe, like you said, the board may sit with the players and the selectors and the stakeholders, have a brainstorming session, and some good will come out. It won't?
I'm saying you have to take.
You said,
No, I'm saying you have to take some decisive calls and at least set an example. I am saying by sending a message. I think somebody should come out and say that the selectors have not been sacked because you think that you are sending a right message, but unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, you are sending a very wrong message.
Yep.
The selectors, the prospective selectors would feel a little afraid whether should I actually apply or not.
So many people
No,
will apply.
Nikhil, see, we've been
but his point is you may not get the best.
Why should
I am saying we don't even know who's the best.
How many former captains
End of the
have you
day,
had?
I'm saying, no, you talk about selection, you talk about everything. End of the day, the biggest talking point will be who bats at number 3? Will it be Virat Kohli? Who will fit in at number 4? Will it be Rishabh Pant? It doesn't matter if it's Vengsarkar, the selector chief. There are 2 selectors.
Not just who will bat at what number, how will they bat?
Yeah,
is more.
If you have to win the World Cup, none of this will be.
I had said in one of the shows, right? Who will bell the cat? We still haven't got.
Who is the cat here?
The cat is
Nobody is ready to even.
Other than Clive Lloyd, any other cats that you've heard of? He was the big cat.
A lot of cats.
You're aware of that, no?
Yeah, of course.
The big cat.
That bat looked like a plastic toy in front of him. He was intimidating as hell.
Next one, Shivam. I'm just going to read it. No, we're not going to answer it. I'm just going to read. So please quickly keep going, Shivam. Next one.
Thank you.
So Golu Sharma is saying, is Sanju Samson becoming another Ambati Raidu? How many chances will Rishabh get? Next one. Sarab Nagpal says, do we just need to accept that something wrong with our culture or DNA, that 0.001% of our population required and needed for professional sport stands nowhere on international stage? Sarab, I think we can do a 1 hour show as to this may not be the right metrics to judge a country's sporting performance based on how many people they have. It's also like access to facilities or the kind of grassroots, a lot of things. Someday we will do it. Ullas Pujari is saying, after coming back from office, for me, you guys are like 4 old ladies discussing stuff in a satirical way. Really enjoy your videos late in the night. Thank you, Ullas.
His name is Ullas.
Sarab wants to say, show lacks a bit of zest and BG music. Can you please add more squeaky chairs?
Big music.
And let Rahul jump on all of them.
But today...
Sarab. Next one. Good one. Comment of the day to Sarab Nagpal. Please, what were you saying?
Chairs.
We've swapped chairs.
जीवतेश सिंह
We played musical chairs.
हाँ जी सर, बात आप वीके पे ले आए. Openers were solely responsible for whole World Cup debacle. Power play तो दोनों ने
खेला ही नहीं ना.
मातम बना रखा था throughout the world.
लोग तो people were saying that KL Rahul after 3 failures, should he sit out or not?
Next one. Pranit Datta saying, has the fitness standard of players dropped since Rohit has taken over? The form of bowlers has drastically dipped since appointment.
That's a very interesting point. Do you agree with that?
Fitness standard of...
You met him a few times. In fact, more than a few times. There.
See, my take on fitness, we were just having this discussion earlier. I am not that fussy about waistlines and things and fitness. I'm only fussy about runs, the right manner of playing. If you're getting me, in a T20 game, batting at 130 strike rate, getting me runs, that's all I care about. And as a fielder, you're not a liability for doing work, that's all I care about. I'm not even a big fan of yo-yo tests and stuff. That's my personal opinion.
I think the fitness, it's a very
subjective.
The fitness has dipped.
Yeah.
I mean, what India was 3-4 years ago, India is not. So we've got to agree with that. And I think part of the reason also is the age, when it starts catching up with players and you don't groom the younger lot, it reflects. If I'm 28 now and if I'm going to be 34 in 6 years time or 32 or 33, I'll slow down.
Yes.
I'll slow down. And I think this management, I do admit, is ignoring the third skill, which is fielding and fitness.
But who's unfit in this team?
They're slow. Nobody's unfit, they're slow. They're slow. If you compare the fitness standards of New Zealand, South Africa, which have always been great, England, Australia, even Pakistan. I would say even Pakistan.
I think fitness...
Because Pakistan has a younger team. It is bound to happen, no?
But they also drop catches.
Ground fielding is good, but outfield catching still is a problem.
Pakistan and India, I think they match each other.
Pakistan
fitness,
in terms of catching.
I think fitness, Pakistan is a lot better. They're fast bowlers.
Yeah, we have slow fielders, a few.
But in this World Cup, their fitness, Pakistan was very, very dodgy. If you look at Shaheen,
He was injured.
He came off an injury, no?
He was injured.
But didn't have rhythm.
He was injured.
Yeah, but midway through the tournament, he was getting wickets for the Pakistani team. Look at Haris Rauf, look at
Naseem. Yes.
Naseem Shah तो ठीक है. Mohammad Waseem.
Not playing him in that India game was a blunder. Mohammad Waseem Jr.
Sanjay Tiwari is saying in semi-final Surya also failed. Do you blame him for the loss? Also Virat scored 23 in 17 versus spin. Rest is got 17 of 19. Rohit
Sanjay, this is the problem. This is the problem, my dear sir. You will pinpoint one player, I will pinpoint another, Nikhil will pinpoint another,
Rahul.
And collectively, and Rahul will pinpoint the selectors.
No, not selectors. I don't know if you saw
just a yaar, kabhi.
No, I am saying.
Mazak hai yaar.
Funny bone.
No, it's the
so while I know
inabilities.
While I know 17 of 19 is not good enough,
Yeah.
but again, chalo
No,
chalo.
this kind of nitpicking, it doesn't create a jalebi, it creates a bharta.
No, this
कोई structure कुछ
is
नहीं
a problem, Sanjay. This is a problem. Yes, Surya also did not score runs in the semi-final.
Yeah.
But then, while he was coming into bat, he had that
Fear factor.
not fear factor. I don't think he fears anything, but he knew that he
No,
had
for
a lot to
opponents,
catch up
I'm saying.
with.
You can't always leave him with a situation that
Him
you
or
know-
Hardik Pandya.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Exactly. You can't always leave him with a situation where only 5 overs are left and you don't even have 100 on the
When
board.
people bowl to great players,
Yep.
when bowlers bowl to great players, the bowlers got to be intimidated
Yes.
in T20s.
Yep.
Abhijit Satyanarayanan has picked his team. That is Dhawan, Rohit, Kohli, Shreyas, Pant/Rahul, wicketkeeper, any all-rounder. Don't say you don't need 6 bowling. No, we've agreed we need 6 bowling, and then that's what he's picked. Okay, Abhijit, thank you for 11. Next.
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay. On that note, can we wind up?
Yes.
Thank you for joining us and company. If you've joined us late, please go
Chandresh, Chandresh on sports tha.
watch the
Yep.
And also, by
program
the way,
from the start.
you can also, by the way, Nikhil is off to Doha, Qatar, for the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah. Hariharan Vishwanath, Sky both match out the same way. New Zealand kept first slip and moved the ball outside off. He showed
Yeah.
bad technique and got out. ODI requires different temper. Yes, agreed.
But he'll improve.
Yeah.
He's a quick learner. The good thing about him is.
Yep. I am the Upma. Can England become cricket and football champions at the same time? No, not happening.
Okay, see you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye. Vanakkam.